everybody. I am so glad that you are joining us today. Miss Elise here again. Hey, I'm pretty sure that most or maybe all of your parents have my contact information, my email address, my phone number. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to hear if you have any prayer requests or even just how you're doing. Give me a call or shoot me a note anytime to say hi. I would really, really like to hear from you. I hope you're all having a great week. We sure are. We're enjoying this beautiful fall weather that we're having. So tonight we're going to learn about a time when Mary and Joseph, the earthly father and mother of Jesus, we're going to learn about a time when they couldn't find their son, Jesus. They were traveling home from Jerusalem when they realized that he wasn't with them. So they had to go back to Jerusalem to look for him. I can't even imagine how afraid they must have been. There have been times when I haven't seen one of my kids for a split second in the supermarket or even playing in our own yard, and I panic. They must have been so scared. How would that have even happened? How would they be traveling along the road for several days from Jerusalem back to Nazareth and not know where Jesus was? Well, see, they were traveling in a caravan, which means a huge group of people that were all traveling to and from the same place. So if Jesus was up ahead walking with his friends or other families and friends, they might not have even known that he wasn't with their group. So I can't even imagine the fear that Mary and Joseph might have had. But before we talk too much about that story, we're going to mention a word that I personally like a lot, and we're going to use it a lot today, and that is respect. Say it with me, respect. Can someone tell me what respect means? Oh, wait a minute, you can't do that because you're not actually here with me. That's okay, I'm going to tell you what it means. Respect means to be thoughtful of others. To be respectful means to do what is right. We show respect for our bosses at work when we come to work on time and when we work as hard as we can, always doing our best. We show respect for our parents when they do what we ask us to do, cleaning our room as soon as they ask us to, not several hours later. We show respect for each other, for our friends, when we treat each other with kindness. So that's what respect means. Now, to be disrespectful means the opposite of respectful, right? To be disrespectful is to be rude or unkind. Let's say I'm up here talking to you about this lesson and someone comes in the door and starts talking really loudly. That would be disrespectful. Or while I'm teaching the lesson, if you're whispering, you're poking your friends, that's being disrespectful. We're going to look at a couple of scenes with a few of my young friends, and you can maybe say out loud to your brother or sister or parents or whomever you're watching the video with, whether you think that this scene is an example of kids being respectful or disrespectful. Let's watch. Whew, finally finished mopping the whole floor. Okay, Lucy, 2 plus 2 is? 4. Good girl. 3 plus 3 is?
6.
Good girl. Boys, I'm trying to do school in here with Lucy.
Oh, sorry, we didn't notice.
Yeah. Let's try that again. Let's start over. 4 plus 4 is? 4 plus 4 is?
6.
8! Good girl. 5 plus 5 is?
10.
Good girl. Hi, yes, I'm calling to make a doctor's appointment, please. Were the kids showing me a whole lot of respect through their actions? Not really. Leaving their wet coats and boots all over the kitchen floor after I had just mopped, and being so noisy while I was trying to do school with Lucy and while I was on the phone with the doctor. Not very respectful. Remember, respect means being thoughtful of others' feelings. So now that we understand what respect means, we can continue talking about Mary and Joseph and their search for Jesus. When Mary and Joseph got back to Jerusalem, they looked for Jesus for 3 days. 3 days! That's a long time. 3 nights came and went before they finally found their son, Jesus. Does anyone know where they found Jesus? Oh, that's right. You can't answer because you're not actually here. At home, do you know where they found Jesus? They found him in the temple. Let's read what the Bible says about this. I'm going to open my Bible to Luke 2, verses 46 and 47. After 3 days, they found him in the temple courts, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. Everyone who heard him was amazed at his understanding and his answers. Wow, all the rabbis, which were the Jewish leaders at the temple, were amazed at Jesus' answers. Do you know how old Jesus was? The Bible tells us he was 12, only 12 years old. That would be like someone that's a couple years older than you guys, sitting down with Pastor Jack and Pastor Noah and teaching them a thing or two about the Bible. Here's something to think about. If Jesus had been rude or unkind or disrespectful, do you think the rabbis would have listened to him and would have wanted to talk to him? I don't think so. If Jesus had been disrespectful, the rabbis wouldn't have listened to him and they wouldn't have wanted to answer his questions. Jesus was the Son of God. He knew more than those rabbis did, but he still showed respect for them because he was old. They were older than he was. So the rest of this Bible passage tells us that after they found Jesus, Mary and Joseph took him home to Nazareth. Let's look at Luke 2:52. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. Do you see what it says there? It says that Jesus grew in wisdom and stature. Stature is kind of a big word, even a tongue twister. Can you say that? Stature. Stature. Stature means he grew up to be a young man, the way that you guys are growing taller and bigger and stronger. To grow in wisdom means to learn more and more. But I don't mean just memorizing school books. I mean learning how to make right choices and right decisions in life. So let's talk about how we can grow in wisdom and in stature and be more like Jesus. So how do we grow in stature? Bigger, taller, stronger. Well, we take care of the bodies that God has given us by eating healthy fruits and vegetables and exercising. Good job, Lucy. Asparagus?
No, wait, I'm not that fit.
Worth a try. So that's how we grow in stature. How do we grow in wisdom? We can memorize verses in our Sparks books. We can read our Bibles. We can pray, talk to God. We can go to church to learn more about him. These are all things that we can do to grow in wisdom. Now, what about being respectful? How can we show respect to others? Well, some examples are to be kind to others, even when they're not kind to us. That's the really hard part, but that's what Jesus wants us to do. We can share our toys. We can be friends with everyone around us. We can show respect to our parents by not arguing with them over our bedtime or cleaning up our rooms. There are so many things that we can do to show respect to others. Here's your challenge for this week. I'd like you to do one thing that helps you grow in stature and one thing that helps you grow in wisdom. Can you think of something? And then you can tell me next week what you did. All right, I hope to see you all on Zoom during handbook time to listen to your verses. Thank you for joining us. We miss you and we're praying for you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.